Hi Kelly and Adria. This is going to be just like a quick update video. I've got like a list in front of me of things I should talk about. First things first, I did finally last month find a place to move to. I paid security deposit and I've paid first month's rent, and it's for August 1st, so it'll basically move in when I get there. I'm going to have to get utilities started and pay whatever deposits I need for that, but it's so much better than it was. That was one of the most stressful things I've gone through in a very long time. Just the searching and the disappointment and the anxiety, and I need to find a place to live, and is there going to be a place for me to live, and then is that going to work out? And I'm still really stressed out about it, but it's better than it was. Last month was my birthday. I'm 24 now. For my birthday, on the day itself, my mother had accidentally planned to have people over. So that day we had the people over, and then when they were done and they left, my dad and I went to go see Me Before You, which starred Emilia Clarke and Sam Claflin. I mainly went because Jenna Coleman plays Emilia Clarke's sister in it, and I just really wanted to see Jenna Coleman in something else, since I've only ever seen her outside of Doctor Who in Captain America: The First Avenger, when she's Bucky Barnes' date to the Stark convention. The day after my birthday, I went to Houston to go to the Museum of Fine Arts because it's free on Thursdays. And I really wanted to go to this museum because they have a J.M.W. Turner painting. And I've never seen any of his work in person. I've seen pictures. If you don't know, he is a British romantic painter. And so I've seen lots of pictures in textbooks. I watched the movie Mr. Turner, starring Timothy Spall as Mr. Turner, which, by the way, a brilliant movie. It's so gorgeous, and I definitely recommend that film. But seeing one of his paintings in person just doesn't even compare, and I wasn't even prepared for that. Like, I was expecting, like, am I going to be slightly disappointed by this? Like, how much should I expect? And I remember going through the museum, because you go through the first floor, and there's some, like, ancient stuff there, and a quote from John Keats randomly in a room full of Egyptian artifacts. I have no idea. And there's lots of modernist painting, which is a lot less my thing. And there's a whole section of American paintings. There's actually a room of paintings donated by I'm a Hog, who is famous for being named I'm a Hog. And the second floor was when you get to the European art, and that was amazing. I mean, the room we walked into first was Picasso, and I know that I'm like horrible for this, but I've never been that big a fan of Picasso. It's just not my thing. But I was walking, and the painting started to get like further back in time the further you walk down the hallway, because I think I started in the wrong end. And I got into the Impressionists, and I saw Van Gogh in person for the first time in my life. And then I saw another Van Gogh in person for the second time in my life. And there was a painting that was like incomplete because the guy died during, I think it was World War II, maybe? I will correct it if I am wrong. We're walking through these, and then we get into this big room that has some windows, and there are these... No, it's not the room with windows. There's a room before the room with windows. And there are these beautiful paintings on the left side, and one of them is of like a stormy scene. And I really wanted to see that painting because it just looked gorgeous from afar. So as I'm walking to that painting, I notice out of the corner of my eye, and I look, and there is the Turner painting. So I walk over to that Turner painting, and it is just... it blew my mind how beautiful it was. And the picture you see online of it, or the picture that I took, like, it doesn't even compare. Just the light shining on the water and reflecting in the clouds. It was so beautiful, and the color, you just can't get it without seeing it in person. After that, we went to a restaurant that was themed on Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I think it's actually called The Hobbit Cafe. So that was pretty cool. Before that, so I think I'm just going back in time a little bit here, was Father's Day weekend, which was, I guess, kind of an emotional roller coaster. We started that weekend on Saturday with Comic Palooza. I bought my dad tickets so the two of us could go, and there was an author there that he really liked, so he was really excited to get to see this author at a panel and get to meet this author, and I think he got some books signed by him. The author's name is Kevin J. Anderson, by the way. I also got to see Lou Ferrigno. I got to see Kate Beckinsale, whose hair is amazing, and she's super funny, and funnier than she expected herself to be, because she kept mentioning that during the panel, that it was really funny. She's like, this is some weird therapy session for all of us. She was so charming. And Kevin Gervaux, who I just think is a super cool writer. And I got to see a Quidditch match, and I got to see some Dalek races. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. The next day was Father's Day, of course, and my dad and I went to the Woodlands, and we got some pizza that was really good, and walked around Barnes & Noble and walked around a bit. And as we were waiting for the tram to take us back to where we had parked our car, I was on Tumblr, and I was going to post a picture because I had a Clara Oswald shirt and I wanted to share it. And I saw on Tumblr a post about Anton Yelchin dying. Now, if you don't know who Anton Yelchin is, he's most famous currently as starring as Chekhov in the new Star Trek movies. I've been a fan of him since 15 at the oldest. I'm not, maybe younger than that. I can't remember what the first thing I saw him in even was, to be honest. It might have been Criminal Minds. He guest starred in an episode in the second season, or it could have been House of D with Robin Williams, which I think is a movie by David Duchovny. But whatever it was that I first saw him in, I was like instantly a fan. And he's one of those actors that I would like watch things because he was in them. And I was just like really like excitedly watching his career get bigger and bigger, and watching him like star in movies. And I mean, this was somebody that I didn't know, and I barely knew anything about either. I mean, I never looked him up or anything. And a lot of great artists have died this year. I cried when somebody told me that Alan Rickman died, and just too many to list, and people that aren't famous people, and just, it's been a horrible year in terms of people dying. Maybe every year is, I don't know. But for some reason, I can't explain it. I just have cried several times over Anton Yelchin dying. And I don't know why. It's just really affected me. I don't know. So the last thing on my list is writing. I started writing my novel again, but it's just been so hard because of all the stress and the moving, and it's really, really hot because it's summer here, and it doesn't matter that we have air conditioning on, it's still hot in the house, and my room is a mess because of packing, and just, whew. So I've been trying to write my novel, and it's been really hard. Mostly I'm just glad to get any writing done in general. I remember that fic I brought up ages ago, and it had somewhere over 1,000 hits, I think. It currently has over 3,000 hits, which is really exciting. As far as I know, I've never had anything get that level of attention. I actually wrote almost 3,000 words of it today because somebody in the fandom, internet friend, is going into surgery tomorrow, and she requested comforting things to read. So I'm really proud of that, and I've been trying to work on other writing projects. It's been hard, and I just want to finish this novel so I can edit it, so I can move on to the next step, do other things. I'm moving to New Jersey in a few weeks, and every time I say that, a little piece of me dies because it's just too much. This video has been an emotional roller coaster, I think, actually. So Adria, I will see you next week, hopefully. Hopefully we get to hear all about how New York has been going. Not that we haven't been seeing that on Facebook, but still. Anyway, bye.